Good morning, everybody. Last night is a hard act to follow, so bear with me early this morning. I'd like to thank you all for attending this morning, and I'd also like to thank the ICA, Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, the ICA Board of Directors, the Steering Committee, the Speakers Committee, for the wonderful invitation to participate in this, the 19th ICA Congress. Since its founding in 1984, the ICA has grown in membership and global reach, and in its importance to the global gem and jewelry industry. In working to advance the organization's 9 objectives, all of which support the advancement and promotion of the knowledge and appreciation of colored gemstones, you've done a great service, not only to your membership and the broader trade, but to the most important group of stakeholders, the gem and jewelry buying public, without whom none of us would be here today. These biennial gatherings, since the very first in Acapulco, Mexico in 1985, thank you, Roland, for the slideshow yesterday, are a very important part of your efforts, and I'm very appreciative and honored to have the opportunity to speak with you today. The great Russian painter, Vasily Kandinsky, credited with painting some of the first works of modern abstract art, believed that artistic experiences were all about feeling and that different colors affected your mood. He said, "Color is a power which directly influences the soul. Anyone who has experienced the wonder of colored stones has a true and deep understanding of the extraordinary power of color and the magnificent treasures of the earth. Color permeates every facet of our lives." My first experience with the wonder and beauty of colored gemstones was when I studied at GIA in Santa Monica, I hate to say, 40 years ago. I was extremely fortunate, as was Henry Ho, that my colored stone instructor was Bill Boyajian, who inspired my now lifelong passion for color. Thank you, Bill. It also began my great journey in this wonderful industry, first to Borsheim's as a jewelry retailer for 31 years, 20 of those reporting to Warren Buffett as CEO, and now at GIA for the past 6 years. Diamonds, like their beautiful crystal structure, are reliably regular. The diamond industry in large part reflects that. Large, well-organized mining operations, technologically advanced manufacturing, well-managed supply chains, and of course, dependable independent grading reports from GIA. Colored stones, however, are diamonds' wild cousins. They bring color and vibrancy in all imaginable shades and are truly the life of the gem and jewelry party. Anyone fortunate enough to experience the fabulous chaos of Tucson during the February shows certainly knows this. Robert M. Shipley founded GIA in 1931 to professionalize jewelers through gemological education, and in 1934 he created the American Gem Society, a membership society where these newly trained jewelers could network and continue to learn. He began the first GIA laboratory on his dining room table and kitchen counters in the home in Los Angeles he shared with his wife Beatrice, who also contributed so much to both GIA and AGS. This first GIA laboratory provided gem testing and identification for students, AGS members, and the public. Although described at the time in trade publications as a small practical laboratory, it relied on loaned or donated instruments. It was Mr. Shipley's son, Robert Shipley Jr., who, finding that there were few scientific instruments suitable for gemological purposes, set out to create tools for this new and developing science. From the iconic jeweler's loupe to the first gemological microscope, whose design concepts are still used today, Shipley Jr. made a lasting contribution to the industry and started a legacy of innovation that continues today. To this day, GIA research scientists continue to develop new techniques and instruments to face the daily challenges of gem identification and the reliable detection of laboratory-grown gems and new treatments used to enhance gemstones. With the acquisition of the New York Gem Trade Laboratory in 1949, GIA expanded to the East Coast and began to add more expertise and experts in the heart of the U.S. gem trade. Some of the founding fathers of GIA began working there: Richard Liddicoat, Robert Crowningshield, and Bert Crashers, built such a reputation for expertise and insight that the trade began to talk about going to see the professors at GIA. You know GIA for many things, for the unbiased and independent GEM identification and grading reports from our 11 laboratories, for our specialized diploma and certificate programs offered at our 10 schools and education centers and online through our distance education program, for our extensive research into diamonds, colored stones, and pearls, research that underpins our education programs and supports the work in our gemological laboratories. Today, I hope to share with you many of the other facets of GIA. Two very colorful threads that tie together everything we do in our research, education, and laboratory services: our mission to protect consumers by ensuring their trust in gems and jewelry, and education, the discovery, sharing, and spreading of information, insight, and expertise in the service of our mission. Our mission to protect consumers and our position as an independent public benefit organization permeates everything we do and every decision that we make. The same is true of education. Back to the earliest days of GIA, when our founder, Robert M. Shipley, set out to professionalize jewelers across America and eventually around the globe. One of his first students was Dr. Edward Gubelin, who completed his graduate gemologist course in Los Angeles in 1939, before returning to Switzerland to begin working on his collection and his research into colored gems. His lifelong study of gems and their origin and inclusions revolutionized the science of gemology, and we all still benefit from his research today. After his passing in March 2005, GIA acquired his comprehensive collection of 2,800 gems and the extensive detailed references on each gem. The Gubelin collection is now part of the GIA Museum, where it is used daily for research and teaching our students. Select gems are on display to be enjoyed by all who visit GIA's campuses. The information about the Gubelin collection is available to all of you in the GIA Gem Database Project, a publicly accessible, searchable database of the technical data on each gem in the collection, including images, gemological inclusions, and chemical, spectroscopic, and X-ray data. This can be found at gia.edu under Research. Education, the gathering and sharing of knowledge that underpins everything we do, is, I believe, the greatest benefit that GIA has to offer. To the consumers whom we work to protect each day, and to the trade, all of you who patronize our labs, hire our graduates, learn from our research, and come to us for education and seminars. In 2019, more than 300 participants attended our very new Advanced Synthetic Diamond Identification seminars. And in 2020, we plan to offer more short, focused seminars designed specifically as continued education for gem and jewelry professionals like you as we build our gemology curriculum for the future. The education thread starts, as does just about everything in our industry, at the mine. GI field geologists and gemologists have made more than 90 expeditions to multiple locales in more than 20 countries, visiting the sources for sapphires, rubies, emeralds, diamonds, and other gems. This coming year, we have planned trips to Russia, Mozambique, Sri Lanka, and Myanmar. On these trips, they collect and catalog reference samples for many different gem species to continually build our database, which is used extensively by our researchers and colored stone experts. It now has more than 21,000 entries, cataloging the unique characteristics of the ruby, sapphire, emerald, spinel, and many other gem species collected at each specific site. For example, here we see an analysis of alexandrite samples from Brazil, India, Russia, Sri Lanka, and Tanzania, showing their relative concentrations of gallium and tin. By measuring the concentration of those same elements in an alexandrite of unknown origin, we could reasonably determine the gem's origin. The information and insights from this research are shared extensively in GI's quarterly journal, Gems and Gemology, on our website, and in our education courses, and this informs the work in our identification and grading laboratories. GI's colored stone expertise builds on the work and pioneering contributions of many GIA scientists. Some of these luminaries have been recognized by the international scientific community with newly discovered minerals named in their honor. Lidocotite, a species of tourmaline named after Richard T. Lidicote in 1977. Mr. Lidicote was GIA's second president and the father of modern gemology, who devoted more than 50 years to GIA. Rossmanite, a species of tourmaline, was named for Professor George R. Rossman of Caltech, the California Institute of Technology, in 1998. George is known for his contributions to the study of color origin. He was also a member of the GIA board for 20 years and a longtime GIA consultant and contributor to Gems and Gemology. Valleyite, a magnetic mineral found in the late Pleistocene basaltic igneous scoria from the Menon volcanic complex near Rexburg, Idaho, was named in honor of geoscientist and GIA Governor Dr. John Valley in 2017. Crowning shieldite, a nickel sulfide mineral with a hexagonal crystal structure which can be regarded as the high-temperature polymorph of the mineral millerite, was named for Robert Crowningshield, a pioneer in gemological research who worked for 55 years at GIA. And just last month, John Queverlite, a new species in the beryl family discovered in Mogok by gemologist Nay Mayo, was named for John Queveler, renowned GIA researcher and a pioneer of photomicrography. That legacy of exceptional pioneering research continues today. In 2017, GIA began a postdoctoral research fellow program to offer younger scientists the opportunity to study the unique river of stones that flows through our 11 laboratories around the world. Their groundbreaking research has led to publications in many prestigious scientific journals, including cover articles in both Science and Nature. These pioneers and others who undertake GI's work in diamonds and colored stones led us to discoveries that have had a significant and positive impact on the diamond and colored stone trade, and especially on consumer confidence. In 1967, we conducted the first gemological evaluations of two new gems materials from Tanzania and Kenya, Tsavorite and Tanzanite, when Campbell Bridges brought these newly discovered gems to GIA for identification and testing. In the mid-1970s, GIA researchers determined that black is a natural color for culture pearls from the Pinctada margatifera mollusk. In 2013, Gems and Gemology published the authoritative article on beryllium diffusion treatment in corundum, proving that this treatment, which was being used to produce a full range of colors, could be detected. Low temperature treatment in 2015, Gems and Gemology published an article demonstrating that gemological laboratories have the capability of detecting low temperature treatment in rubies from Mozambique. GIA was an early leader in colored stone research and will continue these efforts to protect consumers. This work has continued with recent research to establish standards for accurately describing the chemistry of corundum, and these corundum standard sets are made available to other laboratories and institutions. Each set contains 4 standards and will be accompanied by a certificate stating the trace element levels with total combined uncertainty for each standard. These standards include the following trace elements: beryllium, magnesium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, iron, nickel, and gallium. The standards were individually calibrated with SIMS with specific detection limits for the characteristic trace elements. Our research and these many discoveries enable us to help the global gem and jewelry trade and ultimately the consumers who are our ultimate stakeholders. The research that GI funds allows us to stay informed and share with you developments in laboratory-grown gems and new treatment technologies. Based on this work by our more than 60 full-time research staff, including more than 20 PhDs, we develop new instruments to support our laboratory identification and grading services, and for use by the trade in your factories, offices, and retail stores. Because of this work, we can offer new services based on science: diamond country of origin reports, which are demanded by new consumers; automated analysis of diamond melee to detect and remove laboratory-grown stones and simulants, and in the near future, we will introduce a new service that will do the same for ruby mallee. And new colored stone traceability reports, a service similar to our recently announced Diamond Country of Origin reports. For these reports, we will evaluate colored stone rough using imaging, measurements, and analytics, and later match the polished stone to the original rough, confirming the gem's country of origin. For exceptional stones, like the Starry Night Sapphire, we offer the monograph report that, in addition to the full grading and identification process, documents the gemstone's historical provenance and is treasured by high-end clients because it tells the story of their special gem. Something that makes our research even more valuable is how freely we share it. GIA's quarterly journal, Gems and Gemology, has been published for more than 80 years. The articles are meticulously researched and written, and because it is a scientific journal, the featured articles are reviewed by renowned experts in their fields. And while the printed version is very impressive and quite beautiful, every article from the first issue published in 1934 to the most recent is available for free on gia.edu. There will be a special edition devoted entirely to colored stones scheduled for release just before the Tucson Gem Show in February next year. The Richard T. Liddicoat Gemological Library and Information Center on our campus in Carlsbad, California, is the largest and most complete repository of gemological knowledge in the world. Its vast collection includes more than 66,000 books, back issues of hundreds of periodicals, more than 200,000 images and videos, many available for license, an archive of rare books and other materials, including hundreds of original sketches by famed Harry Winston jewelry designer Ambaji Shinde. Hundreds of these rare books, including a 500-year copy of Pliny's Natural History, the first scientific book conveying information on gems, have been scanned and are available for all to learn from and enjoy online at archive.org/details backspace GIA Library. Also on our website at gia.edu is our Gem Encyclopedia, which provides a virtual journey through the science and love of gemstone from across the globe. The thread of GIA education starts with the very young and brings together the entire industry. The GIA Gem Kids program sparks interest in earth sciences, minerals, gems, gemology, and the gem and jewelry industry in young students, inspiring them to be the next generation of leaders. In Carlsbad, nearly 5,000 9- and 10-year-old school students from Southern California visit GIA and are introduced to minerals and gems each year as part of their earth science curriculum. Last year, nearly 6,000 primary and secondary school students in Botswana, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and South Africa participated in the program, and we've had smaller classes in Cote d'Ivoire, Kenya, and Tanzania. We work to broaden access to our education programs with 7 GIA campuses, 2 affiliated institutions in China, our robust distance education program, and $2 million in scholarships offered each year, which help to bring non-industry people into the gem and jewelry trade. The graduates of these programs can be found in every part of our industry, and thank you. Many of you are here with us today. The GIA Alumni Association has more than 130,000 members in 65 chapters around the world, educated, involved, ethical gem and jewelry professionals working every day to discover and fashion gems, design and create beautiful jewelry, and help our customers celebrate the most important moments of their lives with a treasure that can be passed from generation to generation. Just a year ago, GIA hosted the 6th International Gemological Symposium at our world headquarters in Carlsbad, California. These events, held every few years, are an unparalleled opportunity for the global gem and jewelry community to gather, learn the latest research and business practices, renew important relationships, and form new bonds across the global industry. In 2018, we hosted more than 800 attendees from 36 countries. The annual GIA Global Leadership Program with Harvard Business School gathers thought leaders from across the globe, from every sector of the industry, to examine issues faced by international businesses and apply the lessons learned in other industries to their own businesses. The program, now in its 6th year, provides an unparalleled networking opportunity for senior executives to forge new friendships and build bridges between different sectors of the global gem and jewelry supply chain. The participants in the program reflect the breadth and depth and changes in our industry. In 2019, 30% of the participants were women, the highest percentage ever, and twice the number from the previous year. And the thread reaches from Harvard to alluvial miners in East Africa. In 2017, we launched a gem guide specifically for small-scale artisanal miners to offer basic gemological and market knowledge for artisanal miners in gem-producing regions. The illustrated booklet, available in English and Tanzanian Swahili, was initially distributed to approximately 45 women miners in the Tanga region of Tanzania. Since then, working with PACT, a Washington, D.C.-based non-governmental development organization with extensive expertise and experience in the region, we have now trained more than 1,500 miners, predominantly women, in Tanzania and Kenya. The impact has been dramatic. Miners are making more money and improving the lives of their families. They are building brick houses and sending more children to school. And brokers and cutters are getting better quality material for which they are happy to pay. A woman miner from Kalalani, near Tanga in Tanzania, told PACT that after the training, she is selling garnets for 70,000 Tanzanian shillings, about 30 US dollars, rather than the maximum of 10,000 shillings she would have received before the training. A gem cutter based in Tanzania reported that as the program progressed, he saw better quality goods, while before there was often very little worth cutting. PACT calculated that the knowledge gained from GI's $120,000 initial investment in this project, funded from the GIA Endowment Fund, generated a 12-fold social return on investment to the miners and would continue to help them in the coming years. The benefits of this program extend beyond these small-scale alluvial miners. It also reaches the gem dealers in the nearby towns, the designers and manufacturers who seek out these special gems because of their provenance, the retailers who carry their pieces, and finally, and most importantly, it reaches the consumers whose interest in the positive social impact of their purchases is becoming ever more important. Because of the far-reaching impact of this program, particularly how it is further empowering already powerful women, I'm very pleased to announce here today that GIA has made a $1.3 million 4-year commitment to expand the program to reach more artisanal miners in more countries in Africa. I'm honored to share this with you today and hope you will join me in celebrating the achievements of these wonderful miners and especially the women of the Tanzanian Association of Women Miners. Thank you. Our industry means so much to so many. We help people mark the most important milestones of their lives with some of nature's rarest treasures. Our role, all of us together, is to give those who rely on us confidence in the beautiful gems and jewelry we provide to help them embody and express their deepest emotions. I wanted to highlight to you today all that GIA does in fulfillment of our very important mission. Our mission is to ensure the public trust in gems and jewelry by upholding the highest standards of integrity, academics, science, and professionalism through education, research, laboratory services, and instrument development. We are most grateful for your support, and together we can all ensure the continued desirability for gemstones and jewelry by consumers, that we remain relevant by being transparent, authentic, honest, and trustworthy, and that we educate consumers to understand what they are buying with full disclosure, and share the remarkable stories of the journey of their gemstones to inspire their passion to purchase and revere these treasures of Mother Nature. I believe that the future is bright for our industry, and if we are willing to embrace technology and changes, adapt to new thinking, and especially innovate. I'd like to close with one of my favorite quotes. Those of you that know me well have heard me state this a million times. It's often attributed to Darwin. And that is that it is neither the strongest nor the most intelligent of a species that survives. It is those most adaptable to change. Thank you all very much.